hell?
Euphoria.
Tough. Orgasmic.
Rainbow. Sexy.
Exciting.
No hallucination. Generation.
Hi, my name is Kevin Interdonato, and I'm one of the actors and executive producer of Dirty Dead Con Men. About 2 years ago, my producing partner, David Fletcher, approached me and he said, why don't we come up with a project? So he said, come up with an idea and with you acting in it, and we'll take it from there. So I said, okay. So Dirty Dead Con Men, in its origin, was actually a web series, and it was called The Jungle. That's how it all started.
I am Peter Dobson, actor. I play Cook Packard, and I was approached with this project a few years ago when it was still under development. Our creator, Brenna Heineman, presented me with this project. I thought it was too good to be true. I said, are you sure you'd write this for somebody a little bit younger?
Just international bulletproof talent.
I'm Amanda Clayton. I am the character of Lori and also a co-producer on Dirty Dead Con Men. Kevin came to me with the idea. He told me about it about a year and a half ago. And at the time it was a web series that he was thinking of doing, and kind of wanted to get involved in it and see what we could do and play around with some stuff. And he was still working on a script, and the more and more we talked about it and the more the script developed, we realized that this was going to be a much bigger thing than it started out as. And
I could see the passion that he had in his eyes to get this thing accomplished, which is something I admire. So I took a look at the script, read it, thought it was fantastic. I was really impressed by it, and knew that I wanted to get involved. And then on top of that, I knew that I could help Kevin and help him see his vision and of the project and get it accomplished in a timely manner.
The baseman with industrial strength 12 thumpers.
My name is Brandon Heitkamp. I play the role of Connor, the incredible douchebag that gets away with everything. Actually, I had the pleasure of working with Kevin Interdonato on a different project, a feature called Wingman Inc. And he brought me to a table read where I met Peter Dobson and his lovely girlfriend Amanda. And everybody seemed to really work together and have a great energy, so I definitely jumped at the chance when they offered me the part. So.
We were at Cantor's on Fairfax. We used to drink over there, and this song came over, the jukebox, Run Through the Jungle by Creedence. And I was like, this is perfect. You know, I said, I'm just feeling it, the music's coming on, and we were just bouncing ideas. And that was it, and that's how it started. So she started writing. And a couple months went by, and she started really putting stuff together and telling me about it. I was like, oh, it's great, it's great. And within that time, I was friends with Peter Dobson. I met Peter 2 years prior. And I said, Greta, you gotta meet Pete, because I want him to be in this with me. You know, it's such an interesting dynamic. And Greta met Peter, and then it just kind of all came together, you know. Pete's a very exciting guy, and when she got to know him better and she already knew me, then she could have more of a clear focus on us playing these characters and write for us, so to speak. You know, not playing ourselves, but just to our strong points and how this story could come together. And we did. And what happened was, once Greta started writing and talking with Peter, and Peter loved the concept so much, he wanted to get involved more than just acting in it. And then the script was done, and we said, we can't make a web series. It's just too goddamn good. So we said, all right, we're gonna make a pilot. We're gonna make a TV show. And that's what we did.
Well, again, that goes with money. I think if with any project, you always wish you had more money. But with that said, sometimes when you don't have enough money, sometimes you got to get just a little bit more creative. Sometimes you get these things known as happy accidents. When you're working with people who really know what they're doing, which in this production, I was rolling dice. I didn't know what I was walking into. Everybody really had their shit together.
To improve it. Yeah. Wow, we had so much fun. It's hard to say. Maybe a few more people, a little bit more of a crew, which would mean a little bit more money.
$5 million.
Finances. What we had, we're so grateful to get. It was really just so much of our Indiegogo contributors and favors and you name it. We called in everything that we could to just get what we could together. This project grew so quickly that we couldn't. It was trying to support it was like it was crazy.
It ran pretty smooth. It was just weather was our real issue, and probably just having equipment that would have allotted us time to shoot when the rain was happening. But I mean, as far as the people in the actual crew, everybody did their job just fine from where I was sitting, and I'm usually looking around and making sure that everybody's doing their job, because otherwise I'm like, what am I doing here?
Better food. We could have actually had real bananas, instead of the fake bananas we had. No, if we had somebody dedicated to the food, craft service, a chef on set, something, a magical bunny rabbit that would hand out food.
Bunny rabbit that would hand out food, that would have been fantastic.
I'm Chris Caldovino. I play Rick. My favorite scene, there were so many. My favorite scene to film was probably the scene in the bar where my partner gets punched out and I'm just having a drink and enjoying it.
Working with Kevin, he tends to hit me a lot in films, and so I was doing a scene with him where he wasn't allowed to touch me in the script. Like, he had to kind of restrain himself, and there was a moment where I was able to push him hard enough where he grabbed a brick of cocaine in one of the takes and clocked me with it, and that just brought it all right to what I always wanted in that scene. So that was probably my favorite scene, where he busts into my bedroom as I'm smoking cocaine or snorting cocaine.
Was inside the police department, and I was in this scene, but the part that I wasn't in was in regards to the captain, forgetting the actor's name, Hawthorne James, watching his performance and all of his takes.
I grew up watching Pete on TV, and it was kind of surreal for me even when I met him, because I knew about him. He was also making a project in New Jersey a couple years prior to me meeting him. So when I met Pete, it was more of an experience than anything, just meeting another guy. I knew who he was.
How was it working with Kevin Interdonato?
I was hoping for a better actor.
I was a fan. I still am a fan.
Again, to answer your question, as a producer, I had a lot of pull, and I actually had to try to get Kevin fired at least 3 times.
He was head over heels in love with the project, and he wanted to work with me. So for me, that was, you know, that was pretty special.
Because he forgot his lines. As I mentioned, we did a lot of rehearsing, but he choked, of course, on the magic day when we were shooting. No. Working with Kevin was working with an actor who reminded me of how one not only is present in his scene. I've worked with some good actors in the past, and it's been a long time since I have. But probably one of the best listeners I've ever worked with, which is the most important thing to bring to a performance. Kevin made my character, let me rephrase that, he made me as an actor feel more natural because of his expertise as an actor. He's been around for a while, but you know, this one really put me in a different stratosphere in terms of having to kind of match wits with someone who was just as present as I think I was. And it's always great to, you know, to work with an actor who's a good listener. Kevin's definitely a good listener. Has a temper though, very scary temper.
You know, he's Dobson because of the work he puts in. I mean, the guy works diligently on his characters and in the production as well. He was just, this project would not have happened. His involvement was integral.
You guys did a lot of rehearsing before production. When do you feel performances gelled for both of you?
The last day of shooting.
Exactly. I felt like we were just getting into our groove the day we wrapped.
Well, you know what, when we were rehearsing, like I mentioned before, we really fleshed out a lot of things. Because this project went from concept, change to script,
right,
change to screen, and then change again in the editing.
I was like, now you tell me, we're on day 5.
So when we were rehearsing, we really felt out each other, but ourselves as well. There's new things were popping up organically, and we'd write it in and whatnot, and that stayed, for the most part, that stayed on the script, unless we were. You know,
our biggest saving grace, indirectly, was that when we got held up in production, we were set to go at one time. Scheduling problems happened with certain talent, so it bought us more time and allowed us more time with all the rewrites we were getting, more time for rehearsal. So I think the biggest blessing in disguise is that fortunately we had a lot of time to rehearse.
And like no time to do, no takes.
Knowing that we had very limited takes.
Kevin, Pete, if you guys were going to remark on each other's performances, give each other a compliment. No?
I think that's a little gratuitous.
Well, I spoke about you earlier.
I'll be off camera, but I already spoke about you too.
Telegram Sam, you're my main man. No, Slim. I know where you've been. Pete. His lips are like lightning goes melting the heat. Telegram.
Any advice? The advice I would give is
For the actor, I would say know your place and be prepared, both in the sense of be prepared with your role and knowing what you're doing, so that when the time comes, you're on point and they don't have to wait 30 minutes for you to get to the point where you should have been in the beginning. Just because, you know, you don't have that much time when you're an independent filmmaker to get that shot. You need to have actors that can just do it.
nowhere to sacrifice, nowhere to give in, and nowhere to stand strong. Every production is different.
Well, the whole independent filmmaking process, the best advice would be start with a good script, like this one. When you have a good script, you can make a really good film or a good TV show. Without a good script, there's nothing you can do. You can screw up a good script, but you can't make a bad script better.
Well, I've always stuck with the idea that you really have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, because I think that gives you staying power. It gives you the want to be the best that you can be, and I think that kind of energy attracts people around you that are, you know, in the end, positive and contributory towards your goal. And It just makes for really good energy. But I digress a little. What I really meant was to really have the passion and the staying power and love what you do, because it's different every time, and that's what we love so much, isn't it?
So know what to keep, know what to cut, know when to, know which battles to fight. And that would be my advice, is just to be, kind of be involved, but also be above and, on the outside looking in.
Join a union. That's it. Don't do this shit. This is crazy. If you're crazy, become a filmmaker or an actor. If you're not, do something else and make money.
You're first there, you're last to leave. You deal with it when you go home, and it toughened us up. It was a tough shoot, but I think the next one now and what we'll bring away from this, and what I bring from it now, even in my acting career, made me tougher. So
At a maximum capacity in this short period of time, just to make it go. I mean, 2 years, almost
2 years, buddy.
as of right now, to make
I
this.
call this the Little Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
This project.
Nuts. And it came together. I mean, thank God for Michael Wallace. I gotta say that.
Copy that.
This guy came in because we were just totally underhanded, shorthanded,
And overwhelmed at
and
times.
overwhelmed. And Wallace came in and just carried it on his shoulders. T.A. Williams, too, of course. He line produced the project and first AD'd. And he let us use his equipment for the entire shoot, so he was integral to bringing this project in. And then Amanda came in, and other people came in to help. We have Antonio Siriano, Glenn Rodriguez, Josh Kotov, and everyone worked collectively and just went above and beyond to make this thing a go. That's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we were giving blood twice a week after that. And
a lot of multitasking
Yeah.
in this baby. A
Yeah.
lot of multitasking. But
when it's all said and done,
Yeah.
no one's complaining. We got it done,
Yes.
and that's what it is. And hopefully,
by the way, you owe me $250 still.
hopefully the outcome was worth it.
Despite the fact that Peter was in it, I still wanted to do it.